Hey guys, how we doing?
Morning, friends.
Joe here.
Kevin.
All right, shout out to Jeff. You pick it, you buy it. The Manchurian Candidate. This is the 1962 version.
Yes, I did see the 2004, I think, version. I think
Yeah.
you saw it was 2004.
Mhm.
I saw it when it first came out on DVD. It was one of those, when you used to walk around Blockbuster and you're like, hey,
Yeah.
there's a wall of one movie. It must be the whatever the hit of the week
Yeah.
is. Watched it. It did not make a good impression on me. I don't remember it at all. I
Which,
remember I remember three cast members.
yeah.
I remember Denzel, Liev Schreiber, and I think Meryl Streep is in it. I can't remember
So
anything else about that movie.
we talked about that briefly when we saw we are going to do this today, and the 2004 one I have a weird relationship with. Like that's one of the oldest trailers I remember seeing on TV.
Mhm.
And I was like, I want to watch that, Mom, and she was like, No, you know.
You're right.
But I've never seen either one of these versions of the movie, and I wanted to watch this for a long time, but for the longest time you could only find the 2004 one,
Right.
and I don't want to watch that until I've seen this, and then when I am able to stream the 62 version, I just haven't done it because I'm not in the mood to watch it, and then when I
Right.
want to watch it, it's not available. So I'm glad we're finally doing this.
Sure. And I don't know. Like I said, it was 20 years ago. I don't know. I found it very forgettable, the
Yeah,
2004
it's
version.
weird because
So
that's Demi and Denzel, the
yeah,
director Jonathan Demme.
I was like, give me more. Uh, yeah, I know, but maybe it is really good. Maybe I just wasn't into it.
Well, some
I
directors
just
have
wasn't
flaws,
right.
it's a remake.
I obviously wasn't paying that much attention. And yeah, the rule of thumb is 98% of movies the original is better than the remake
For
anyway.
sure.
So why remake a classic? Answer: you don't.
And this is Frank Sinatra, right?
Yeah. I don't. That's the only one I know that's in this is Frank
Me too.
Sinatra. How many Sinatra movies have you seen?
Zero.
Really?
I'm pretty sure. I mean, not that I can remember off the top of my head. I mean,
I was thinking about it this morning. It's like, have I seen a Sinatra movie? And the answer is, I've seen a couple. Uh, the original Ocean's 11, which
I've,
is
I've seen some. Okay, I've seen some of them.
which
Yeah,
I believe, and I know that people disagree, is a far inferior movie to the Steven Soderbergh film.
I fell asleep, and I like old movies. I fell
I,
asleep.
by the time I got to the end, I was like, come on, man. I did not care for it.
Yeah,
I saw his Guys and Dolls,
I've not
the
seen that one.
musical. He played Nathan Detroit. He plays a supporting role, and in the lead is one of the worst casting choices in the history of film, Marlon Brando.
Wow.
Um, Marlon
Really?
Brando, who's a great actor, but a romantic lead of a musical comedy.
Uh huh.
No, it was
Really?
terrible. Yeah,
Okay. I
um,
kind of want to watch that just to
right.
see it.
Hey, Mankiewicz, if you're looking for someone who can play that role, maybe could suggest Frank Sinatra. He's right there on set.
Yeah.
Um, God. And then I was like 10, and I don't know why, but I watched an old black and white movie because it was on like the local whatever
Yeah.
UHF station called Suddenly, starring Frank Sinatra, and it's a movie about a presidential assassination attempt.
Okay.
And it was, as a 10-year-old, I was quite enthralled by it. I need to watch
Wow.
it again as an adult because I thought it was a lot of fun.
I love old thrillers. I
Right?
really
Yeah,
do.
and it was. But that's it. Those three are all I think I've seen of Frank Sinatra in terms of film.
There's
Um,
one on Max that I keep meaning to watch. Is it From Eternity or something? It's a World War II movie.
From Here to Eternity.
Yes,
Is he in that?
he is in that.
Oh, I've not seen it.
It's on my Max list. I need to check it out eventually. But,
Absolutely. All right. Well, anyway, thank you, Jeff, for giving us a chance to watch this, and we should go ahead and get started here.
Yes.
We do want to thank all of our Patreon subscribers for being here with us, and give a special thank you to Actuarial Lurker, Balash Foldez, Chris, Derek Peterson, Jeff, Christy Goverston, NJ, Sudugunda Varapu, Torgir Linkstad, Weird Magic, and Weird Panda 47. Really appreciate you guys. Thank you for being here with us.
Yes. And if you're watching this on YouTube for the first time, welcome to our channel.
Okay.
If you mind hitting the like button for us, please leave us a comment down below and hit the subscribe button so we stay up to date on the content we've coming your way.
If you would like to see a full-length reaction to this and everything else that we have watched or we are currently watching, please check out a link in the description below our Patreon page. You will have to sync and watch along on your own source material on our Patreon. You're only going to see near us due to copyright law.
Yes. Yeah, because even the trailer for the 2004 version, like, I'm not even sure what that movie's about.
Right. So this is a Korean War era film, then it looks like.
I like that shot.
Yeah. Between this and Mad Men, the deal with the Korean War, there's very little in terms of American cinema that deals with the Korean War compared to like Vietnam or World War II.
Yeah, Gran Torino's another one that sticks out, but I mean, like, that's pretty much
Even that's like, oh, by the way, I was in the Korean War.
Yeah.
Giant Raider!
No, no.
It's just our Raymond, our lovable Sergeant Shaw.
All right, let's go, you men. Come on.
Interesting close-ups too.
Tricky.
Swamp one around. 30 yards up, maybe quicksand.
Nobody said anything about quicksand.
Well, the 60s, when you could just have a white dude play whatever
Yeah.
ethnicity
You know,
wanted.
right?
What's your personal advice?
All work in single line. Next 200 yards.
Rejected. Not tactical to travel forward in a single line.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Oh, the Russians are there.
I mean, most of the wars at this time were, you
Sure.
know, proxy wars against the Soviets.
Mm-hmm.
All Cold War stuff.
Yeah.
The white Korean guy was a traitor.
Oh, Janet
Janet
Leigh.
Leigh, yeah. I also missed when films would do like an open credit without it just having like
Something happening.
names under the
Yeah.
under the action happening.
Yeah, that's part of the reason why I like Bond movies too, because they like take the time to give you a cool intro. But this is not like nice. It's like, here's your poster.
This nation jealously guards its highest award for valor, the Congressional Medal of Honor. One of these 77 men was Staff Sergeant Raymond Shaw, to be decorated personally by the President of the United States.
Netflix did a kind of a docu-series about Medal of Honor winners and some of the crazy things they did. It's pretty entertaining.
Let's check that out.
Yeah.
Hurry, General, please.
Miss Angela Lansbury.
That's funny.
Yeah. Gotta love a parent who will never miss a moment to make it about
That's
them.
my boy.
Yeah.
Fight for the service of his country.
You did this, Mother.
One who has been
You
fighting
organized this
like
disgusting three-ring circus.
I'm curious as to where Frank is. He's kidnapped right now, but
Wasn't he kidnapped too, though? I think they were kidnapped together. I think they were both getting put on the
was he in the
helicopter.
platoon?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think he was the other guy they were showing getting
I
put on the
gotcha.
helicopter.
Money's up
So
for
this must be way
re-election,
later.
You got it all figured out, haven't you? Displaying valor above and beyond the call of duty, did single-handedly save the lives of 9 members of his patrol. I'm going to New York.
What?
I've got a job in a newspaper. Night after night, the Major was plagued by the same reoccurring nightmare.
Not bad.
Yeah.
Concerns the influence of air drainage upon plant climate. Many years ago, when I was traveling about the country,
What an odd dream. I mean,
Yeah.
yeah. Is this how they tortured them?
POWs, Red Hat Society.
Yeah.
That's good camera work. There's circle the whole room here.
Allow me to introduce our American visitors. I must ask you to forgive their
Posters
somewhat
here now.
lackadaisical manners, but
you will notice that I have told them
That's
they may
cool.
smoke.
This is great editing.
Yeah.
I'm sure you've all heard the old wives' tale that no hypnotized subject may be forced to do that which is repellent to his moral nature.
For sure.
Tell me, Raymond, have you ever killed anyone?
No, ma'am.
Choke somebody out with a scarf.
Oh, man.
We need the captain to get you
Yeah.
your medal. Who else?
So the story's alive and Machine Gun Nest isn't even
I
true.
guess so.
That's why we don't
Yeah.
get to see it.
Yeah.
And strangle Ed Mavoli to death.
That is dark.
That is really effective brainwashing.
Oh, God.
Doesn't it strike anyone as curious that
Yeah.
Mavoli was one of the 2 men lost in the action?
Major, as the consulting psychiatrist present, I'd be most interested in hearing your personal feelings about Shaw.
Raymond Shaw is the kindest, bravest, warmest, most wonderful human being I've ever known in my life.
Does he mean that? Was he programmed to
Yeah.
say it? He looked ahead.
Yeah.
I am United States Senator John Yerkes Iceland, and I have here a list of the names of 207 persons being members of the Communist
Okay,
Party.
so this is Joe McCarthy stuff.
When did it end? Was that in the 60s?
I think it's 50s. When McCarthy did it, his piece of paper was blank. He was lying.
Yeah.
I've absolutely proved there are 104 card-carrying communists in the
Until he
Defense
changed his
Department
number,
at this time.
yeah.
How many, sir?
Okay, so he says the same thing.
Yeah.
All right.
Maybe that's what they should have done at the Department of Defense. It's like, well, let's go talk to everyone else who was there.
You would think.
Right.
Like, nah, Raymond Shaw. Good
Right.
guy.
I will recommend urgently that Raymond Shaw be posted for the Medal of Honor.
The set is almost like a Bond movie.
Kind of,
you
yeah.
know? Like, this is so eerie.
Shoot
Yeah.
Bobby Raymond through the forehead.
It's a really cool shot.
Yeah. pretty violent for a
Yeah.
60s movie.
But that was pretty shocking in the theater at the
I
time.
bet. People were like, oh my God.
Yeah.
What you ought to do is to write to Sergeant Shaw.
Why, do you nothing's wrong with me?
You ought to write to him and see if anyone else is having dreams like yours.
How come she's smarter than the whole Department of Defense?
Okay.
The Joint Chiefs couldn't figure that part out.
Nah, they're like, you're just tired.
The way he looked ahead, just like, yeah.
Kindest, warmest, most wonderful human being I've ever known in my life.
Okay, this is actually kind of funny, too.
Yeah, it is.
There's definitely some satiric humor here, yeah.
So my assumption is they want him to kill somebody.
Yeah, I was kind of thinking at the beginning, like, oh, he's getting the Medal of Honor. He's going to try to kill the president at the ceremony, but apparently that didn't happen.
That would be the time to do it, you know?
Right. Unless there's somebody else.
Sure.
I mean, if they want to kill his stepdad, they could have just asked, probably.
Yeah. Yeah, they really could have. Yeah.
Why don't you pass the time by playing a little solitaire?
Was that like the activation
That's got to be
phrase?
like an activation phrase, yeah.
Didn't they make fun of this a bit in one of the Austin Powers movies?
They did, obviously.
I can't remember specifically, but
in the Winter Soldier movie, he's got.
Oh,
like
yeah, that's right.
1 week from next Saturday, you will be called for at 11:10 a.m. and taken to the Timothy Swarden Sanitarium.
Oh, Raymond, it's nice to see you again.
It's actually a rest home for wealthy alcoholics. In fact, it's one of the few Soviet operations in America that actually showed a profit at the end of the last fiscal year.
Normally conditioned American who's been trained to kill, then to have no memory of having killed.
This was a real paranoia, by the way, the sleeper agent who doesn't even know they're an agent, for sure.
Have him kill one of your own people here on a sealed floor.
I would, gladly. Why can't he kill some non-productive person on the outside?
His superior at the newspaper, Mr. Holborn Gain. Might he not then be given that very influential job himself?
As a journalist?
Can you brainwash him into being a great journalist?
Yeah. One of the greatest journalists in the country.
Remember when you started at Oxford, Brandon?
Yeah. Now's it registering with you?
Oh, there she is. As gorgeous as ever. She's so close. I didn't realize she was that close to him.
Not at all, please don't.
Nice.
Maryland's a beautiful state.
I was born in New Hampshire.
I went to a girls' camp once on Lake Francis.
I don't trust her. In this movie, so much paranoia, I don't
That's
trust
what
her.
I'm saying. I don't trust anybody.
Right.
The 9 of them. Like, why do they need 9 people?
Yeah.
Of the 2 names, I've always favored Rosie.
She might
It
be a
smells
fan,
of
though.
Yeah.
brown soap and beer. I live at 53 West 54th.
Wow, she's really laying it all out there.
Apartment 3B. Eldorado 59970.
Maybe not. Maybe she's just really wanting to go out with him.
I think we're supposed to question it, right?
For sure. This guy.
I need job.
Job?
Definitely him.
Yes, sir, Mr. Shaw. I asked for a job with you because you're a great man who saved my life.
You're going to be perfectly marvelous in there this afternoon, hon. I just know you are.
I'd be a lot happier if we could just settle on the number of communists I know there are in the defense
Yeah.
Well, you're going to look like an even bigger idiot if you don't get in there and do exactly what you're told.
Whoa.
Okay, so she's running the show,
Right? Lady Macbeth.
Yeah.
Are there any communists in the Defense Department? Of course not. They're saying, how many communists are there in the Defense Department?
Nice close quarters stuff here.
How did the old lady turn into Russian? What were you doing there?
Oh no!
Yeah,
now you're in trouble. Same thing happened in Google hunting. Once you hit the policeman, it's all over.
Yeah.
To be fair, he won that fight pretty well.
He did.
I think part of the fun is this: you're supposed to not trust anybody else. You know, whether she's on the level or not, you're not supposed to trust her.
It's exposition heavy, but at the same time,
really well done.
They're careful what they show you.
Yeah.
Before I even took my coat off, I telephoned my fiancé. And I told him I had just met you, and I gave him his ring back.
He met the guy that didn't see Mister on the train and dumped her fiance.
What? That's nuts.
You remember Al Melvin, the corporal on the patrol?
Yes, of course.
Well, I had a letter from him a couple of weeks ago. You know how much the guys in the outfit hated me. Well, not as much as I hated them, of course. In the Soviet Army.
Roll the one on the right, please.
He looks different.
Exactly 1 hour ago, your friend, Mr. Alan Melvin, in Wainwright, Alaska, made the same 2 photographs.
There you go.
You're not crazy.
I'm going to recommend setting up a joint intelligence CIA FBI unit based out of New York.
I like the fact that people are on board with this now.
Yeah.
It's a terrible thing to hate your mother. But I didn't always hate her. When I was a child, I only kind of disliked her. Years later, I realized then that I am not very lovable. And no, don't contradict me.
Yeah, we hear that from
Yeah.
everybody, yeah.
No one's contradicting you.
Oh, but I was very lovable with Josie.
Oh, Sir Maloney's been raving about snakes and nobody's even seen one in our base. That's very important. I'll be right back with the car in a minute.
Yeah, I would have fallen in love with her too.
Yeah.
It's weird how his head's framed with the angel wings there, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
I once found it necessary to sue your mother for defamation of character and slander. One of your mother's more endearing traits is her tendency to refer to anyone who disagrees with her about anything as a communist.
Welcome to 2024.
I would very much like to ask your permission, sir, to marry Jocelyn.
I want to talk to you about that communist tart.
Shut up with that, Mother. Shut up!
Well, we are at war. It's a cold war. But it will get worse until every man, woman, and child in this country will have to stand up and be counted.
Wow, this works so well right now.
Yeah.
One, of course. She always does.
I don't think I could have won that one with her.
Yeah, you had your own agency.
Yeah, exactly.
You're a grown man.
I did love her. I do love her.
Yeah, Frank is not impressed here.
I wouldn't be either. Wait, you're a grown man and let your mother break up your relationship?
Yeah.
Why don't you pass the time by playing a little solitaire? So he says to me,
cards, please.
why don't you go and take yourself a cab and go up to Central Park and go jump in the lake?
And that's what he's going to do.
Raymond! Hey!
So he's going to go to Central Park and go jump in a lake, because that's what the guy was saying. Yeah. I love when they show these shots. It's like the things that haven't changed, even despite the time passage.
It's amazing. It really is.
It's like it's
The
still
black and white photography is so effective too.
Still,
I love it.
Still looks like Central Park. Oh my god.
Get out of there!
God, that looks so cold too. Playing solitaire.
Obviously, the solitaire game serves as some kind of trigger mechanism.
I remember.
Solve that pretty quick.
I can't believe they don't have Sinatra's character like in sitting with someone like doing like memory exercises to like unlock him.
Yeah, they're just
let it come to him. It's nice of them.
If we solve it, we solve it.
I've been thinking about him a great deal lately.
Lincoln in every house, in every room in the house. Yeah.
And it has occurred to me that Tom Jordan's daughter, Jocelyn, you remember her, hon? That mousy little girl Raymond was so attracted to that summer at the lake. I think she would make Raymond an excellent wife. She's been living in Paris for the past 2 years. Johnny and I are giving an enormous party. A costume ball, actually, at the summer house on Long Island. Do you remember a darling girl we met the summer before you went into the army? Jocelyn Jordan, Senator Jordan's daughter.
Oh my God! The Lincoln, of course.
It's like play a drinking game with how many times you see
Abraham Lincoln. Yeah.
Why don't you pass the time by playing a little solitaire?
Oh my God! She has to be.
Oh my God!
How though? Unless he was a target in Korea
by his mother.
By his mother, yeah. Oh no.
Uh-oh.
If Johnny's name were put forward at the convention next week, would you attempt to block him?
You're seriously trying for the nomination for Johnny?
No, we couldn't make it. But I think he has a good chance for the second spot.
I would spend every cent I own and all I could borrow to block you.
Is she gonna kill him now?
That's kind of what I was thinking,
Yeah.
right? If he blocks him,
Right.
then yeah, she's like, Raymond.
Queen of diamonds.
Is the whole deck the Queen
This
of
is what
Diamonds?
is known, my dear girl, as a forced deck.
How do you do, Major? Only it's not Miss Jordan anymore. It's Mrs. Shaw. Mrs. Raymond Shaw.
Crack open whatever it is. The three of us, we've absolutely got to have a drink. Come on, bustle. Make like a housewife.
Oh my God! Make like a housewife.
There was still his little cowboy outfit.
The reason I came here this morning is to ask Raymond to voluntarily put himself under arrest. I'll give you 48 hours. You have him back here day after tomorrow. I'll talk to him then.
I now charge this man,
He's so drunk.
with high treason of America.
I'm gonna beat that vile, slandering son of a numbskull to a bloody pulp.
Whoa!
All right.
I don't think that's going. That's part of the plan.
No.
That vile, slandering husband of yours. Where is he?
What are they trying to say about Lincoln?
Right.
Or with
I think it's ironic. I think I think this is satire.
It's showing us so much of it.
Yeah.
Celebrate your wedding.
Should have locked him up 2 days ago.
Any number of good reasons.
This one's on you,
The whiskey
Frank.
in that
Yeah.
cabinet beside you. Raymond, what are you?
Oh,
Yeah.
oh man.
Raymond, no! Raymond, darling!
Oh. Yeah, they said that if
They said if
anybody-
anyone else, yep, that was going to be part of it.
and he's not going to remember.
You really blew it there, Ben.
Yeah.
Ben,
Hi, kid. Where are
Really?
you, Raymond? We can't talk on the telephone. Just tell me where you are.
I'm in a hotel room
He's at the convention.
Yeah.
across from the garden.
How about passing the time by playing a little solitaire?
The patrol was taken by a Russian airborne unit and flown by helicopter. And I strangled Edmund Vody and shot Bobby Lendeck.
Why is all of this being done? What have they built you to do?
I don't know.
They haven't told him yet.
Yeah.
I don't think anybody really knows except that it's over in Moscow. And my American operator here.
I'm assuming the American operator's his mom. They haven't really said.
She had the deck of cards in her desk there. She got him to kill him.
52 Red Queens and me are telling you. You know what we're telling you? It's over. The links, the beautifully conditioned links, are smashed. You call me at that number. Try to call me by 8:30. Or as soon as you find out whatever it is they want you to do.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out what it is because I don't know what it is.
His stepdad was nominated for VP. Maybe it's killed the person nominated for president so he can be president.
I guess.
I wouldn't turn him loose. You're not a psychiatrist. You don't know how all this works. You can't just say, like, I fixed it. I pardon you.
Chun Jin will give you a 2-piece Soviet Army sniper's rifle that fits nicely into a special bag. You are to shoot the presidential nominee through the head.
Okay, there we
Yep.
go.
And so she didn't know it was going to be him.
Assassin. I wanted a killer from a world filled with killers, and they chose you.
There you go. That answers my question. So I take it then the "you're all free and clear" didn't work.
I guess not. I mean, unless he has like a last minute switch flip.
8:44. I know.
How about you go there? You know.
Let's get the hell out of here. All right, then let's go.
If you have 500 to 1,000 guys, fill up the garden.
Come on.
Yeah. Great editing though.
Oh, fantastic editing.
I tell you, you gotta stop this thing.
I love the Dutch angles too.
Yeah.
All right, get up there, Frank.
I give you the next president.
Yeah. Hey, turn the light on.
There you go.
Yeah.
Get up there. Boy, this is tense though.
Yeah. Whew, you better be booking it.
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah.
You couldn't have stopped them. The army couldn't have stopped them. Oh, God.
Yeah.
Jeez. That's dark.
It was really dark.
Poor Raymond. Poor friendless Raymond. Heroically and unhesitatingly gave his life to save his country.
That's the end. Wow.
Yeah. Okay. I think it was pretty satirical.
It was. I'm just saying the ending was very
right,
dark.
The ending was dark, but I think that was kind of a satire. While I was watching it, it was reminding me a lot of Doctor Strangelove.
I kind of got that
in
vibe,
that
yeah.
like Cold War paranoia where everything kind of goes wrong, not as a result of actions of the enemies per se, but it is they're mocking the paranoia, right?
For sure, McCarthyism. For sure,
right. Just the idea that we're not even safe, even in our own minds. You know, it was a really paranoid movie and a funny movie. Obviously, up until the
we
end,
did chuckle quite a bit.
Yeah.
The ending is what really like put the nail in the coffin there.
Sure.
I did like that ending. I thought it was very.
I did too. Yeah, it was. I mean, a lot of satires are dark and end really dark.
Yeah, the Strangelove ends very darkly. You know, I think this would be a great double feature with Doctor Strange.
I do too. Yeah, absolutely.
I really think that some of the imagery at the end of the movie was pretty striking, if not iconic. You know, boy, did Sinatra's character really blow that. It obviously ended. Well, look, two people are dead, so it's like, well, more than two people, but like he did save the country,
right?
But I mean, it's pretty bleak. You know what I mean? I think jail is more appropriate, but I guess how are you going to prove that? You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I think that was the appropriate
for
ending.
sure. Just smoke them both,
right? Yeah. I mean, that was kind of the thesis that was kind of laid out there at the end by Sinatra. Anyway, they did it. It was the right thing to do.
It's okay for them to die, I guess.
Right.
I mean, like, look, violence is complicated. Obviously, it's a fake movie. It's fictitious. So in movie land, you could say, okay, fine, kill them. They deserved it.
Right.
They absolutely deserved it. She had him kill his wife and his father-in-law.
Right.
Decent people. So yeah, all right, cool. I don't feel bad for him dying at all.
No, I don't even a little bit. And again, I think that this was more of a message movie, really, and not one to be taken incredibly literally. So I don't mind the violence. I don't mind the violence towards his wife and father-in-law, because I really think that this was more of a message movie.
Yeah.
The guy who fancied himself Lincoln but was actually just a drunken buffoon.
Yeah.
I think that's got more weight to it than, you know, the nuts and bolts of who dies and who doesn't, really. And again, you know, keeping in mind that it was made, you know, as the Cold War was raging, you know, at the height of the Cold War.
Yeah.
It's really kind of play on, again, you know, you have that moron in Doctor Strangelove, right, who basically wants to start World War III to protect America, essentially on that John Birch Society crap of fluoride in the water is going to be mind control and kill us, sap us of our precious bodily fluids. It's idiotic. Shout out to RFK Jr., who also believes that that Doctor Strangelove apparently is a documentary. They got to get that fluoride out of the water. Can't have healthy teeth in the inner cities. But I think this was kind of the same kind of satire as Doctor Strangelove, and I think it was a lot of fun.
It was a really fun ride, honestly. Like,
it was
a very interesting movie too. Like I love movies like this. I love how they're shot, how they're paced, how they're edited. You know, and Sinatra really brought it.
No,
he's a really good actor.
Yeah, and I like a lot of the Jonathan Demme straight into the camera shots that they were using with the characters to kind of really lay stuff out for us.
Clearly, it was inspiration of his career. Obviously, he remade the film, and I want to see. I want to watch that version now too. Obviously, they updated it,
right? Which I think is weird. I did see it. I just don't remember it because I didn't care while I was watching it. I don't know how this works
during the Iraq War.
Right. I think this is very, I mean, the adaptation must have been pretty heavy, right? Because this is very much a Cold War.
Yeah.
Yeah. The kind of mock the idea of the Cold War fear, you know, We start with McCarthyism.
Yeah.
So it was very much a kind of a mocking of like Cold War paranoia.
Yeah. Which is crazy that it happens at the very beginning because Strangelove is, I think, also 1962.
Was it 60?
Well, no,
I don't know
no.
what year.
64, 65, I think.
All right.
Yeah.
So this might have had a lot of influence on Doctor Strangelove for
sure.
Stanley Kubrick.
Yeah.
But yeah, this was a lot of fun. While it was dark, while it was tense, it was also a lot of winking.
Yeah.
In terms of America at the time and Americans, terror of the communist at the time.
Not to pick apart the story or like the message overall. Maybe I'm missing something. What was the purpose of them capturing 9 people and brainwashing them? Was it just to like?
Well, they had to have the story.
Okay.
Right.
So they're the witnesses.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
There isn't a, I made a big sacrifice and saved my unit if my unit's all dead.
For sure.
So that was it.
Okay,
yeah.
Cool. Yeah, because for a second there, whenever Janet Leigh is introduced, I think we were both like, okay, is Sinatra also gonna be a sleeper agent too? No,
because and they tell us like the only reason he needs to live is because he needs to get the guy his Medal of Honor.
Okay, got it. And that I really like how that played out. Then I kind of want to watch it again, not because I missed anything,
sure,
because I thought this was very watchable, and I
it really was watchable.
Yeah. And like I said, I'm gonna watch the Emmy version. Watch this again. I do want to see how the Iraq War is brought into the story because I'm assuming it's contemporary.
It's got to be. Well, yeah, it's too. Yeah, I'm sure it is too. It was. Like I said, I saw it. I don't think I paid that close attention to it. I was definitely not into it. I found that it's one of those movies that I kind of like forgot as soon as it was over.
Mm-hmm.
Point Break was that movie for me when I was like in college. Point Break was a movie I watched. I was like, that was okay, and then never thought about it or wanted to watch it again after that. And I feel like this was probably that same kind of thing. I was like, all right, and then that minute gone. But yeah, I'm probably not going to watch it again, but I am curious about how they adapted it for 2004.
Yeah.
99% of that was not familiar to me at all, so I think there had to be massive changes. You know what I mean? Like,
sure. Well, even when I was watching this, I was trying to think of how they would, bring that into the modern day, and I'm like, very specific.
It feels like they might have taken the brainwash concept and the title, and then that's about it.
Sure.
Like I don't, I really can't remember that much, but I'm not sure that Denzel Washington, who played
the
Sinatra role, I don't know if the names are the same, and Liev Schreiber, who played the Shaw role.
Meryl Streep must be his mom,
for sure.
Yeah.
But I don't know that those two characters were ever together in the movie, which was like half of this film.
Yeah, like their relationship was a big part of it.
And I don't think their relationship existed almost at all in that movie.
Okay.
I can't remember it if it did. So I think there were wholesale massive changes to where it was very dissimilar.
Got it. Okay.
But again, like I said, it's been 20 years and I didn't care. So
yeah, for sure.
I could be wrong. There's probably somebody typing right now like, they're almost identical. I'm like, all right, you might be right.
Yeah.
But I really don't recall that.
Yeah.
But at any rate, glad you're here with us. Thanks again, Jeff. I really did enjoy this. It's one of those movies. This is one on the list of movies you should watch.
I'm glad I finally saw
exactly.
It's a classic.
We'll catch you next, guys. Thank you.